Good? Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Banjo-Kazooie. And last time we were pretty much more than halfway through the game as we've just finished the hot and cold combination of Gobi's Valley and Freezezy Peak. Mostly Gobi's Valley because we kind of did Freezezy Peak half and half, which is a valid strat to be sure. And what are we looking like? Eggs? I'm actually, okay. Red feathers are under 50, but that's like whatever. Anyway, yeah, we are starting from a fresh reboot, but this way I can show off the whole cauldron combination, as it were. And towards the end of the last episode, if not mistaken, we also unlocked the entrance to Mad Monster Mansion, which is going to be most of the focus of today's episode. I say today, but you could be binge watching all these Let's Play videos back to back, so I will say in this episode we will be focusing mostly on Mad Monster Mansion, but there's also going to be a lot of stuff to do after Mad Monster Mansion that's going to be preparatory for level number 7 or 8? Yeah, I think it's level 8. You know, kind of hard to keep track of all these, but yeah. Level 8 should be after this, but that's not going to be until the next episode. I know what's throwing me off is because this is episode 5, and we're doing Mad Monster Mansion, which is going to be level 7. That's what's throwing me off. There's like a difference of 2. Yeah. So, welcome to Mad Monster Mansion. I don't know if this is going up in October. If it is, that's cool. If it's not, well, why don't you watch this in October? It would actually be fitting. Woo! Spooky! I'm messing, but as I've been saying throughout this playthrough, every new level will be slightly larger than the previous, and Mad Monster Mansion is no exception. We also have these green ghost enemies that will die to the Wonder Wing, just like the mummies from Gobi's Valley. Almost exactly the same. I think the green ghosts are a little faster though, so you might want to be careful. We're in this hedge maze, mostly for musical notes, but also for an orange Jinjo. I know I saw it. Yeah, it's right over here. Red feathers, you will need some in this level, but not that much. I know there's at least a couple of flight paths, and we're also going to need 20 Mumbo tokens, if I'm not mistaken. Wow, that's clutch. Yeah, I told you. Those green ghosts are pretty fast. But Mad Monster Mansion is also infamous for a couple of specific objectives. And, well, since we are doing this level in its entirety, we'll have plenty of time to cover all that and all of the potential controversies that could have arisen from it. I will say that this hedge maze is throwing me off a little bit, so we may have to come back and do a clean sweep of that. Apparently, we can't destroy the gate from behind. You have to do it from the front? That is something I did not know about until doing this Let's Play. So, hey, learned something new. But, I guess we'll try to exit right here. I think it's the same way we came in. Yeah, pretty much. But at least we knocked that out ahead of time. A big focal point of Mad Monster Mansion is the mansion in the center. But we're going to put that off a little bit because that one is almost half and half. You need to do some with Banjo-Kazooie and some when they are in their animal. It's actually not really an animal transformation this time, but it is a transformation of sorts. Good to see that we were 5 over on that, but you are really going to want to stock up on the Mumbo tokens because we're going to need 25 for the last transformation in the game, and that's only... After this, it's only 2 levels away. There isn't going to be a transformation in level 8. The name of that, which some of you already know, and if you don't, well, you'll find out next time. Unless play Banjo-Kazooie. Every time I do that, I swear, you guys are probably thinking, oh god, don't end the episode now, Leslie, no! Okay, we can't break this gate from the other side either. That's interesting, but what about if we try to do... Yeah, try to be smart now, Gate. We can just use a shock spring pad. Alright, this area over here is basically the well. A lot of water around here. We could do stuff here now, but in my experience, it's a little more efficient to wait until you have the transformation and come here and do it then. Well, I don't know about efficient, but it's a little bit easier and might be a little faster, to be honest. Besides, there are some red feathers here, so let's do collect those. Thankfully, we'll have plenty of health, so taking damage from the water here is not only nostalgic of Bubble Boot Swamp, or it's reminiscent of Bubble Boot Swamp, but it's not really that big of a deal. So we can use the shock spring pad to come back over here. Nothing on top of the well. More gold feathers in the water. Oh, and there are the wading boots over there. Not that it's not necessary anymore, but it is still there. And you know what? I don't want to keep wasting gold feathers on the skeletons, because the skeletons, they're in a similar vein as the green ghosts, where they can only be fully destroyed with the Wonder Wing. But I don't really think that's going to be too big of a deal. Alright, musical notes on this roof. A little tricky, because you got to do Talon Trot as soon as you jump on here. And we're fixing to do the first potentially controversial obstacle, but it's also probably my favorite Jiggy mission in my Monster Mansion, to be honest. So, rolling into it won't do it. You're going to have to use a beak attack of some sort. So, say hello to the Ouija board challenge. Before we start, there's going to be 4 musical notes in the corners here, which we do want to knock out, just to make it a little less annoying. Now, the goal is to spell out Banjo-Kazooie using this glass tumbler, I guess. No relation to that website called Tumblr, I would hope. Well, of course not. This game came out way before that. But anyways, putting that aside, this is potentially controversial because, I don't know, some people might be scared of, like, Ouija boards because they might be, like, demonic or something, you know? Some people just have that sort of mindset. And I would have never thought that if I played this back in the day. Like, I mean, looking at this, like, okay, I guess all the red spaces with Grunty's face are kind of, like, scary because of the colors, but I mean, not really. But it's still worth mentioning, I guess. Anyway, we have to spell out Banjo-Kazooie, so now we need to look for a Z. The purple ghost swirling around is potentially annoying, but depending on your routing, you may not run into it all that much, truth be told. Now we can find another O. Yeah, we found another O, which rhymes with Cheerio. And then we just do the I and the E. Oh! Ghost almost got me. This is also pretty close. I did it with 8 seconds to spare. I do remember struggling with this mission the first couple of times I played this game, to be honest. The timing is a little strict, but you mostly just need to try and optimize your movement and try not to get hit by the ghost too much. I got hit by the ghost once, which might be why I didn't finish with like a 15-second buffer, which I'm pretty sure is my personal best, but yeah, I don't pay too much attention to that sort of thing. Hey, another free Mumbo token in the corner of the hedge. A hedge maze, God. And we're almost 1/3 of the way with the notes. Knock out that gate. Oh, God. We're actually fixing to come up to another potentially controversial mission, funnily enough. Oh, my God. Let's head down here to the cellar first. I think this is a wine cellar, technically. Cellar as in a basement of sort, not the cellar with the S, you know? Is there anything over here? Because that's a hidden corner right over there. Green ghost could be potentially annoying. You might want to get used to killing them, by the way, because there's going to be one that we will deal with fairly shortly, actually. Not in the level, but like between this level and the next. But again, there's actually going to be a lot of post-Mad Monster Mansion prep work. Oh, here's the Jiggy that I was alluding to. There's going to be a lot of post-level stuff to do that I do want to knock out before we do the next episode, which I wouldn't be surprised if the next episode was 40 minutes of just the next level, to be honest, because the next level can be that bad. Just depends on how things go. I will say I'm very thankful for the Switch version, for being a thing on the expansion pass or whatever. Yeah, it costs. I'm not grateful about that part. I'm grateful about the save states part over here. It's been useful you know, as backups, but I haven't really had to use it too much. I think I had to use it a couple times in Bubble Goop Swamp. One of them for the infamous Mr. Vile. Anyways, let's head over here to the church. I'm pretty sure this is the church area. And let's go ahead and knock out this gate that we saw like 5 minutes earlier or so. And the controversial... Okay, actually, I want to show off this secret room over here. There isn't really anything here, like collectible-wise, but there's a lot of like extra supplies you can get, like eggs and feathers and extra life. So this isn't necessary at all for completion of the level, but it is something cool to show off. It's a nice Easter egg, how it's like the one stained glass window with a Banjo-Kazooie face. But at any rate, what's controversial about what we're about to do... Oh god, gravestone enemy. These guys are so fast. You see these flower pots with the googly eyes, right? Well, what you want to do is you want to do try to get an egg in there. And I'm going to try to be quiet and ask you guys to listen to this. Did you hear that? So, apparently, the flower pots are supposed to be saying, "Thank you." But the way that the voice actor does it, it's very easy to mix it up and think that what's being said is actually a swear word, which I shouldn't say out of respect, and totally not because of the YouTube copyright stuff, but, yeah. So anyways, interpret that what you will, but I personally do, I don't know. I think I knew about the origin before I did this the first time, because when I first did this, it wasn't the first time I played the game, it was actually the second time when I was a teenager. So, and I saw also, as I mentioned in the previous episode, I was on the Rare Witch project trying to replay the game, but also look into the stop and swap thing because I was curious about it, since I played Tooie a lot in my childhood, and that had a little bit of the stop and swap stuff, as it were. So yeah, that was when I replayed this, actually really played this game, through this game for the first time. And yeah, I don't remember really thinking about it, but I did know about the controversy before then, because people were talking about it even that early on, you know? Alright, so there's different ways we can go about this, but I think what I want to do is I want to hit on top of this gravestone and get on this roof. Well, you do want to try and get Talent Rot set up, though. At least it gives you some time. And I know some people say rough, but roof sounds too similar to rough. So I usually just like to pronounce it as roof, but I know sometimes people speak really fast and it's really easy to slur your words a little bit. Something I really should try to work on, because it isn't expected that I should be slurring my words like this, but it is just one of those terrible habits I've picked up over the years that I really shouldn't have, but it is what it is. It's a little tricky to get up to the roof of the church, or the very top of the church, though, because as you can see, I had the Talent Trot, but like all of these obstacles are just like really tiny. There's like barely any footing here for you, and those musical notes are also barely. Why is this shock spring pad so much smaller than the other ones that we've seen in the game? I couldn't tell you. Anyway, yeah, another Jiggy all the way at the top of the church here. So, we've already gone over 2 potentially controversial elements of Mad Monster Mansion. God, I should probably title this episode Controversy Mansion or something like that. Oh yeah, there's a Mumbo token over there, and I could have gotten it by jumping from the top of the church. Matter of fact, I guess I could try to do that, because I don't think I even need to go all the way to the top. I think I could just jump up over here, and then over here, and then over here. Yeah, as long as I'm careful. And then, damn, I don't even get any fall damage for that. So that's potentially a shortcut, because the only other way to get there, I think, is with the transformation. Only enough. Oh, and the hedges are spiky. Oh, we can't even enter the church right now. But anyway, we've gone over 2 controversial elements of this level already. And would you believe me if I told you there's at least one more, and maybe like some other like have controversies, I should say. But let's knock out some of the mansion for a bit, because there's a lot to uncover here, and there isn't really anything too controversial here. It's a bunch of windows you have to break, though, and behind a lot of these windows are going to be rooms. And some of the rooms will contain useful stuff, and some of them won't. So, and at least one or two of these rooms you're not really going to be able to do anything as normal Banjo-Kazooie. You'll have to come back with the transformation of this world. I know you guys are probably just dying to know what the transformation is, considering I already said it's not an animal. It's actually the only transformation in the game. If you don't count the washing machine, it's the only transformation in the game that's not an animal, which is pretty interesting. It also kind of spoils that the last one will be an animal transformation, but again, you kind of assume this, so it's not really a spoiler, now is it? So again, it looks like this room doesn't really have anything going for it. Plenty of red feathers though, so if you missed out on red feathers earlier, yeah, there you go. That should set you straight right there. These bats are kind of annoying. They need to just fly right into my rat-a-tat-taps. That would be really nice. So I think this is the level, or the floor of the mansion that we need to concern ourselves with. Okay, this room, we need to come back with the transformation, so I will save that. I'm trying to figure out how I could bookmark this. I think a good way to do that is to try and leave that blue egg there. And then I'll collect all the other blue eggs, and that will tell us that I've already come to that area. Ooh, man. Oh, God, this bat, man. I don't remember usually having trouble with the bats on this level, but, I don't know. Alright, this room has red feathers and a mumbo token and a skeleton, but also has a toilet guy named Lago, who, can we talk to him right now? I guess we can if we do this. Oh, Burr's much too fat to fit in Lago's mouth. Yeah, for some reason, well, I don't want to spoil exactly what happens, but we will need to come back to that room with the transformation. Okay, so I guess both of the rooms in this level are what we need to worry about with the transformation. So I guess I don't really need a breadcrumb. We know both of the rooms, but at least now we know which one actually has it has an extra honeycomb, I will say. As for the room with the toilet guy, well, you're just going to have to wait on that one. But here's where the green Jinjo is, and all we need is yellow Jinjo. Although the location of the yellow Jinjo is escaping my memory at the moment, but shouldn't be too hard to find. Now thinking about it, he might be in the church, because we still haven't actually gone inside the church. That's going to be one of the last things we do, most likely. So, yeah, these windows are a little trickier to deal with because they're on the edge, and yeah, hopefully you don't bounce off as a result. Okay, there's some musical notes here. So it seems like the rooms at the top of the mansion have the most goodies by the looks of it. Another green ghost, very easy to knock out. Is there a gold feather back here? Clutch, that's nice. Some blue eggs on the bed there. Oh, I think the yellow ginger is actually on top of this bed. I think we're actually, yeah, we're fixing to knock him out. Yeah, here he is. That was pretty quick to get all the Jinjos, actually. Usually the Jinjo Jiggy is one of the last ones, but, for once, this is actually our halfway point. This is, definitely unusual. By the way, the painting of the pirate guy is actually a character back from the development of Banjo-Kazooie when it was still going under the name Project Dream and was also basically going to be an entirely different game. It's an interesting history that I suggest you look up on your own time. I mean, talking about it wouldn't be completely off topic from Banjo-Kazooie, I guess. God, this part is just tricky to navigate. Because you really do need Talon Trot, and it needs to come in clutch. Okay, I guess that's going to work out. But again, if you're not careful with the windows, you can bounce off of them. Okay, so I think this room is pretty much just Musical Note City. I just roll under that enemy? Oh, that was pretty cool. Yeah, at this point you have so much health that I don't really think you're going to have to worry about damage too much per se. But yeah, this room is pretty much Musical Notes Center. So we've taken care of the top floor and the bottom floor, which didn't have any collectibles, so we need to come back to the transformation for the mid-tier levels. The most important aspect of the mansion is we have to climb to the top to the chimney, and then we go down the chimney, because this is how we're going to get Jiggy number 6, which is inside of that giant green ghost. Oh wait, is there a mumble token back here? Yeah, there is, right in the fire. That isn't really fair now, is it? Anyway, let's create a comfort suspend state over here, because if you accidentally go on the floor, because it's a wooden floor, it'll creak, and when it creaks, it'll wake up the ghost, and you might be asking, well, just walk slowly. That doesn't do it. It's any movement on the wood floor at all will wake up the giant green ghost whose name escapes me. But, you just go inside of him, right? We don't even have to do Wonder Wing. So, yeah, basically the giant green ghost was protecting the Jiggy for Grunty's sake. Not that it matters very much. Yeah, he's gonna get punched pretty bad. Up your useless spooky butt. There's a fight pad here for some reason. I'm not sure. I think there's like an extra life around here somewhere. I guess we can look around. Oh yeah, there's a chandelier over there. An extra life on top of the chandelier. But I guess it's also there because it's a kind of a hint maybe that there's gonna be a flight pad elsewhere. Yeah, that life didn't want to cooperate. But, yeah, that's gonna be Jiggy number 6 either way, and we can destroy the door with any beak attack, whether it's the ground attack or the rat-tat-tat. Okay, so I think next on the agenda is actually going to be the church. Looking at our statistics otherwise, we still also need to find the 2 extra honeycombs. I know where one of them is, but the other one might escape me at the moment. Okay, but we want to head up here, and then you want to head up here. And I'm going to do another safety state here. Not because it's hard, but because if you miss the time limit on this, then you need to do a lot of backtracking. So I just figured the save state would save a lot of time, worst case scenario. Or how about this? I'm just going to run into the shoes instead of trying to talon trot into them, which is supposed to save you some time. But run forward, run forward, run forward, run forward, run forward, and there we go. 3rd time's the charm. Alright, so here in the church, it's a pretty big church. Like, probably a little too big. Like, who is this made for? Giants? There might be giants. There's also green ghosts. And, how annoying are they gonna be? Oh, they're gonna be pretty annoying, alright. But thankfully, every time you knock them out with the gold feather, they drop a honeycomb, so it's kind of a 1-for-1 trade, usually. But, yeah, I don't know why this area is, like, so gigantic for, like, no reason. But there is a giant ghost hand here by the name of Motsand, which, you know, based on Mozart. But it's a giant ghostly hand. Let me see if I can get him on the visual here. Oh, no, I guess we're going to actually have to go straight to the organ to spawn him proper, but believe me, he's there. Also, I'm pretty sure the other extra honeycomb is here, as well as the witch switch. But we're going to have to take care of the Mott's hand situation first. And don't forget about musical notes here. It can be potentially easy to forget where a musical note is here because of the draw distance, as it were. And don't be afraid to check the ground level. You see there's a beehive over there. Maybe on the other side there's a mumbo token or something. Or it might just be 2 beehives. It actually is 2 beehives. Consider me surprised. But, yeah, there is a Jiggy to get here from Mott's hand. Wow, that is not a very flattering camera angle there. There we go. And a near guaranteed mumbo token there. Wow. Alright, safety state. Because I don't know what happens if I fail this, so... Basically, Mott's hand will perform a pattern. I guess we actually have to go to him directly. He's going to perform a pattern. and we have to follow the pattern. Mott's hand plays organ with ease. And it seems like all of the characters in this level follow the rhyming scheme of Grunty. I wouldn't be surprised if this was like Grunty's home level, and Grunty's lair is just like the secondary. So we do have to follow the pattern here. I would say that this is a little controversial, because I think some people struggle with this for one reason or the other. But the good thing about it is, if you fail a key, you only take 1 damage, which at this point in the game is probably not going to be much of anything at all. And, yeah, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Let's create another safety state here, since this is, it's not a checkpoint, but for some reason Mott's hand talks again. But this is basically part 2. If you know the pattern ahead of time, you can actually do the whole thing without Mott's hand playing it out, which I think is pretty amazing, that this isn't, like, random at all. If you know the exact order, then you can just do the whole thing, but I don't know how you're supposed to do that, honestly, with just a written guide, but if you can do that with a written guide, I applaud you, like, really. Thankfully, it looks like we are going to get this first try with no damage. Oh, maybe it's mostly controversial for a speedrun? Because if you get hit, you know, it wastes a few seconds at least. And man, a few seconds in a speedrun is pretty bad. I won't lie. But I think that's it. So I think we get the Jiggy now? Yeah, oh, there we go. The Jiggy's going to be all the way on top of the organ with a lot more red feathers and musical notes, which is good timing. Because we're actually going to use that flight pad to a much better reward than the flight pad in the mansion. Can we really call it a mansion? I know the level is called Mad Monster Mansion, but like the spot with the giant green ghost, that was just more like a house. Seriously. But yeah, we should be almost done with the music notes though, for real. There are some music notes in the well that we passed by earlier, which I normally do get the musical notes ASAP, but I don't know. I just didn't really feel like doing it this time. So we're going to have to jump over there. And I'm going to do another safety state because since the church is so gigantic, if you fall, it takes a long time to get back where you want to be. So we want to keep going up and up and up. And there is a Mumbo token there. Ooh, that was pretty good. I was able to clutch it like that. Good lord. Extra honeycomb over there, but just missed it. And skeleton. Go. And yeah, that takes care of that extra honeycomb. And I know where the other one is. Gold feather is honestly pretty tempting. Like, I need this. Wow, it gets really dark at the end here, though. Another safety state, because it's not the thinnest walkway in the world, but the camera is pretty bad here. It doesn't want to cooperate. So, yeah, there we go. That wasn't too bad. Do we need eggs? No, I don't think we need... Apparently we don't really need eggs very much. Okay. Yeah, you can't do like a little bit of the camera movement. It has to be a full, like a not a full rotation, but it moves in like set intervals. But try to watch Banjo's shadow. That's actually a pretty good barometer of your position, relatively speaking. Let's hit this witch switch, which will get us a Jiggy over there, which you could have knocked out by breaking the left eye earlier. Pretty sure I knocked that out last time. We're going to get that during the prep. Okay, so here's going to be another issue, potentially. We need to try and get down, but yeah, you're bound to take some fall damage here. And Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie are two games that actually have relative fall damage, which is to say that the further up you are when you fall, when you land, you'll actually take more damage the higher up you were. You can, of course, mitigate the damage by trying to do this, like a flip-flap, like near the bottom. Easier said than done sometimes. Or you can actually do a rat-a-tat-tap as well. But I'm trying to think. I think we've pretty much taken care of most everything pertaining to doing stuff with regular Banjo-Kazooie, even though it's only 7 jiggies. Well, it's not a big deal otherwise, but yeah, it's time for the Mumbo transformation for the level, which should be fun. Should be fun. So, yeah. This transformation is going to help us get at least 2 jiggies, potentially 3, by the looks of it. And there's some musical notes here. Or, it looks like it's only 2 musical notes. That's kind of hilarious. You know, normally behind Mumbo's chair in some of these levels is a Mumbo token, but apparently that's not a given. So, and let's see what's lurking around the rafters here. One gold feather on the other side. Wow, Mumbo a cheapskate all of a sudden. All right, so we need 20. And wow, we got 35 Mumbo tokens already. Sheesh. It's pretty. The later on you go in the game, I think each level has like more Mumbo tokens than the previous, or at least equal. Anyway, the transformation for Mad Monster Mansion is a pumpkin. I know what you might be thinking. A pumpkin isn't an animal. Of course it's not, silly. But anyways, we need to use the pumpkin to try and reach. Oh, there was a little crevice over there, and that's how you get the Mumbo token here normally. But yeah, there's a little crevice here, and this is how we get to the second layer of the main house. And this is how we're gonna get to the rooms to get the extra honeycomb and also deal with Flago. And it looks like we're gonna be doing this in the most optimal order by getting the extra honeycomb first. There's only 4 left. Two regular levels left in the game, and 4 extra honeycombs, 2 each. So, yeah, and we got the breadcrumb egg. So now let's head to this room, and let's get flushed down the toilet, because we just happen to fit. Happy landings, little one, flush. Yeah, good old Lago. Or maybe I should do like a Larry the Cable Guy impression. Get her done! I mean, I can only do so much. Let me see. Yeah, there's a jiggy here, a bunch of gold feathers, unusually. And let's see if there's anything else besides gold feathers. No. It's mostly just, well, I will say crap instead of the other word that's more fitting. I can't believe you went in there. Now wash your hands, filthy bear. Technically, we're a pumpkin right now, but, yeah. That's not completely inaccurate. And now if we head over here, you can actually go down, and that's how you get Jiggy number 9. And I know what you might be thinking, that Jiggy, the last Jiggy, is probably in the well. Well, I guess it is. So I guess it all works out. And what threw me off is that I usually knock it out ahead of time. Now the issue is if I can remember where the well is, which I don't seem to have any recollection of where it is, but we will find it in due order. Yep. That should be the last thing. There's also 7 music notes. It is an odd number, which does concern me a little bit, that it's an odd number, because I don't think music notes are usually sanctioned off by odd numbers. I think it's usually an even number situation, but, well, we'll know for sure soon enough here. Alright, there's the well area. It didn't take that long to find it. We do have to exit the level in pumpkin form, though, and that is very important. It was also important that we destroy the gate near the Mad Monster Mansion hub, which I think I did like 2 or 3 episodes ago. Alright, so 1. Unfortunately, these tendrils all around will kill you. For some reason, the pumpkin doesn't have to worry about oxygen, which is interesting. Very interesting. Also, Mumbo token here. Wow, there really is 7 music notes here. Unusual. And we get the last G. And we can exit through the bottom pipe. So you can do that area as regular Banjo-Kazooie, of course. The pumpkin is also not weak to the water around here, so that's pretty good. And we're just short a few red feathers. Speaking of red feathers, we're going to be doing a lot after we leave Mad Monster Mansion, but let's double check to make sure we have the totals, which we do in just 31 minutes, which I'm not mistaken, is around the same time as it took for Gobi's Valley. No, 6 minutes longer, but of course it's understandable. And like I said, that's one reason why we're pretty much only going to be doing one level an episode here on out. But honestly, I was surprised I was able to pull it off the way I did. But the secret to that was doing Freezy Peak half and half. Anyway, this gravestone enemy is going to catch up to you. You are way too slow in your pumpkin form. I know it's very annoying, but you have the health to tank it, hopefully. This grunt can be dodged. Again, you need to make sure you've destroyed the gate there before doing all this, which if you've been following along, you should have done. Now we enter this house that's off to the side. There is a green ghost here, so be careful. And do check behind Mumbo, because there is a Mumbo token there. We do need 8 more in order to get the last transformation. I know what you're thinking. It's pretty interesting that there's a Mumbo section in Grunty's lair. Yes it is. But this is only a temporary thing. So let's head on top of the coffin. Let's try and, knock out the ghost. We do want this honeycomb because of health reasons. Beak Buster that, and then Beak Buster that. And there's a gold feather there for convenience because the developers know you would have used one to defeat the ghost. So it all works out. Some eggs here to top you off, and we're actually going to need to turn back into a pumpkin to escape the house, as it were. It's a very weird section, to be honest with you guys. I've always felt that. Not bad. I do think it's interesting that one of the transformations gets to do a little more in Grunty's lair, but this is all of the transformations, except for the walrus. That's what I was thinking of. The walrus is the only transformation that doesn't have any purpose in the lair. And considering that the walrus is also a transformation that doesn't really do much in the first place, it's actually kind of hilarious. So much for being the walrus, I guess. I don't know how that expression goes. But now we're going to exit the Mad Monster Mansion entrance. And we're going to be back in this volcano-like area. Let's try not to go too far. And we are going to do another safety state here because this is another treacherous area we have to navigate. Ahead, we might be here a while. So why didn't I make that jump before? Okay, let's go for the hole. We'll worry about Brentola later. We want to go into the hole here because we are going to run into Cheeto number 2 of 3. Yes, there's 3 Cheetos. And we're probably going to do the 3rd one in this episode too. I told you, there was going to be a lot of post-Mad Monster Mansion prep. Told you. Don't worry, next time on Let's Play Banjo-Kazooie, we are going to tackle that. Anyways, keep the cheat red feathers in mind, because you put that in the sandcastle and it will double your red feather count. Very good, very good. I'm hoping we can still talk to Brentilda even though we are in pumpkin form. Yeah, Revolting Brentilda's bedroom has dirt. Again with that. Come on. She also has an eyeball flower. Wow, that's actually really interesting. Because there is an eyeball flower in Banjo-Tooie. Now, that's all I will say. I don't want to spoil that too much. Oh, God. Again with that. And the best part about Brentilda is she can refill your energy just like bottles can. I think I mentioned that in a previous episode. I don't know. It actually wouldn't be too bad to die here because I think we would respawn at the Mad Monster Mansion entrance. But, I don't know. I don't want to lose lives. It's a matter of pride, as it were. Though it seems like it's a little easier to go back than it is to go forward. Yeah, I don't know about that. The pumpkin does have surprisingly good jump height, considering, it's normally an inanimate object, but, well, there it is. And this is where the transformation starts to get weak, the magic starts to get weak, but man, it sure does extend quite a bit more than the other transformations. Like I said, the pumpkin gets the most work in Grunty's lair. So we're not going to go back to Treasure Trove Cove yet, because I did say there is a 3rd Cheeto. What we want to do now is we're going to have to redo the whole thing we did before to get the Jiggy from Freezy Peaks entrance. We got to do that whole process all over again just to get the flight pad activated so we can fly into the Jiggy that's in where the glass eye was broken. But thankfully, we can actually get some more red feathers along the way. Not that it matters very much, because I'm pretty sure when we put in the red feathers cheat, not only does it double the count, but it also refills it. So it's pretty nice. Let's go ahead and ground pound that. And get the shoes. Doesn't really matter. You're so close to the shoes, I don't think it really matters if you talon trot ahead of time or if you just do it. But you don't have to push the B button. You can just go on the pad and jump, even if you still have the shoes. Thankfully, that's the hard part. Flying into the Jiggy after that, that's not difficult. So, and there we go. There's only 2 Jiggies left in Grunty's lair because there are only 2 regular levels left in the game. We're pretty much done with this part, though. Now, we want to head up, up, up. Similar to going to where we found the blue cauldron, or the blue dingpot, whatever you want to call it. I just call them dingpots again. That was the name of the character in Banjo-Kazooie. So. And now this area is a lot more flooded, which is interesting. So we want to look for a bunch of platforms to go across. No, actually, we want to head back here past the tunnel with the red eyes. Again, with the red eyes. Red eyes black dragon over here. Like, come on. So we want to head up here, because this is actually the entrance to level 8. Believe it or not. The entrance to level 8 also has the puzzle for Mad Monster Mansion. It's almost a pattern of sorts. But, anyway, let's see what we can do over here. Some blue eggs. Very nice. And, another reason I'm delaying Treasure Trove Cove is because we're probably going to unlock... We're about to unlock another cauldron here shortly. At least we should be. Yep. Over here. Here's the second blue cauldron. And that'll take us back to the... Man, there's like multiple witch rooms, I would say. But yeah, it takes us back to the room with the Mad Monster Mansion entrance of sorts. But what's important is there's going to be another water switch here. And we do want to create a state. Again, for convenience rather than difficulty. So, let's activate the switch. And there is a very specific spot we need to go to. Now, we need to try and head down, and we need to try and head to the tunnel over here. And when we go into this next room, we need to head up, up, up ASAP. And I do mean ASAP, I really do. At least I think, I'm pretty sure there's a time limit to all this, so yeah. Let's do this. Oh god. That's bad, it's pretty bad. And let's head over here. I think we should be good. And try to go into one of these tunnels. And okay, there's nothing there. That's interesting. So let's head this and this and this. And here's a note door. 640 are required. So we unlock that, and that'll actually take us to the entrance to the final regular level in the game. But there's a lot more to this room. Yes, indeed, there's a lot more of this room. So let's go ahead and knock this out, because this would actually be really convenient. A bunch of these tendrils, which you can knock out easily with the Wonder Wing. Maybe don't go too crazy with the Wonder Wing, though, because, you know, supply and demand and whatnot. But yeah, this is the entrance to the final regular level in the game. But we're coming here mostly, not only is there a level 3 grunt now, man, they're really looking dark. There's another Brentilda over here. I think this is the last one. Brentilda's favorite pastime is collecting dragon teeth. See, that actually sounds kind of cool. This poor guy called Undead Ed. Hey, that rolls off the tongue nicely. And when she was younger, Grunty used to have a baby dragon. Huh. Kind of funny how all that lined up. I do wonder if the randomization still puts the answers in like a set pattern in general, but it is what it is. So there's a bull enemy over here. Funnily enough, we haven't seen that since Mumbo's Mountain. From way back in the beginning of the game. So this is the entrance right here to the final level. Final regular level in the game. Not counting final boss, which you probably already know who it is, and so on and so forth. I don't worry about the bull too much. You want to crouch jump to these leaves, and there should be another note door here, but that's 765, and we still only have 700. So let's head over here to the east, because there's that tunnel over there. We do need to keep a note on that, but we also need to come over here, because this has a switch, and it's not a witch switch. It's a switch that unlocks the method of unlocking the entrance to Click Clock Wood. I can say it because we just saw the name of it. We know the name of level 9 before we know the level of level 8 in the order of this Let's Play. Very funny how that worked out. So let's go ahead and go through this tunnel, why don't we, and see where this takes us. It takes us to a Mumbo token. It's pretty convenient. Alright, well, there was a water switch over there. So now, let's head back over here and actually unlock the way to level 8. And believe it or not, by the end of this episode, we're going to unlock the entrance to all the levels. That should really enhance the pacing of the next two episodes at least, because the final boss and such is definitely going to be its own episode, I feel like. So yeah, I don't see anything else here. The location of the third Cheeto kind of gets muddled up in my mind usually. It should be in the other room, because we did see that other water switch. So let's destroy this, and this should be the painting for level number 8. Rusty Bucket Bay. The most infamous level in the game. It's a pretty good reason why it's the second to last standard level as well. But, well, we formally unlocked that. We still actually have to do the painting or the puzzle for Click Clock Wood, which we will do shortly, once I get all this sorted out. This will take us back to the Mad Monster Mansion thing, which is whatever. So, yeah, I'm trying to figure out how we can get the water to go all the way up to that water switch. It's kind of a conundrum, really. Like, we have to hit a water switch to make the water switch go up. So, yeah, I'm still... I think I know what's up. There's probably going to be an entrance up here to go somewhere. Yeah. So, we need to go back to the other room and try to hit that switch, as it were. It would be funny if we have to go through all that again, like going to the Click Clock Wood entrance and then having to go through all that rigmarole. But, maybe not. Or maybe it is. I don't know. This area over here is interesting, though, because we are going to have to come back here. Oh, so there is a tunnel over here. Okay. Oh, so I guess this is how you get to the switch. Yeah, I must do this in another order. Yeah. So let's create a safety state here just in case there's a time limit, because I'm pretty sure this has a time limit to it. Too slow there. So let's do this over one more time. It does seem like the time limit is kind of tight. A little bit, but you just have to spam the B button underwater, and that's what will really help you here. Just spam the B button. And it does seem like the cave is right above here. So maybe we don't have to do too much movement. Let the camera fix itself for once. And let's get to the top. And, oh god. Yeah, that's a pretty tight time limit. I do remember the time limit being pretty tight there. And this is going to be the final Cheeto, which is going to give us the cheat Gold Feathers. Yeah, that's just how that works. Blue eggs, red feathers, and gold feathers. There are other Cheeto codes, but these are the only 3 that you can actually acquire from Cheeto, as it were. So, normally I would jump cut the Treasure Trove code, but since we have, like, pretty much all of the cauldrons activated, except for, like, a couple more, I think, that are mostly tied to the final area, we could just take this blue cauldron over here, and, let's take this cauldron over here. And by taking this one, we can go back to this room over here, and we drop down, and we can just take the red cauldron now. But do try to mitigate the fall damage. And we just jump in here. And I think this might be... I think the reason that they made the Click-Clock Wood puzzle the way it is, and they located it where it is because they wanted to give an excuse to the players to actually take advantage of the ding pot system, as it were. And thankfully, even if we start fresh, we can use those pair of cauldrons to get to the Rusty Bucket Bay hub world pretty conveniently. So before we hit the Treasure Trove Cove, let's head underwater here, because this is how we go to the room that has the Click-Clock Wood puzzle. Yeah, it was right next to the Treasure Trove Cove entrance this entire time. Kinda funny. And this room has at least one Mumbo token and the last Brentilda. I thought the last one was the last one. That's because I usually come to this room early in the game to get Brentilda and the Mumbo token. I don't really know why, but it just seems to work out for me that way. And now let's try to figure out where the Mumbo token is. Yeah, it's right over there. That's what I thought. Because I did see it during the animation, as it were. Yeah, let's go ahead and knock out the painting. That's a lot of jiggies. And that's every regular level in the game unlocked for you for that. So the next 2 episodes are going to have some really good pacing. I'm happy about that. Very happy about that. So let's jump down and let's talk to Brentilda. This should be the last time for real. Ugly Grunty's nickname was Cauldron Butt. That's probably not the best name to have. Putrid Parrot Puke is her favorite smell. Why parrot specifically? And her favorite color is ghastly gray. I do know of another answer that could potentially be there in gruesome green. So I think it's just a pattern of colors that start with the letter G. Isn't there only 2 of them that start with the letter G? So, yeah, at this point, we're just going to go to the sandcastle to do the other 2 cheats. Alright, we got 2 feather cheat codes to enter here, so let's start with the red, and then feathers. Thankfully, when you have the cheat from Cheeto, it'll light up, and I don't know if you could put in the cheats before you actually get them from Cheeto. But I do think it's important to still show off the locations, because it's, 100% run, you gotta do it. Actually, fun fact, 100% speedruns don't do Cheeto, which I find interesting. So, I guess you could consider that 100% and a side of fries. So, let's get the G. Thankfully, these aren't the longest cheat codes in the world, but I will go ahead and say now that there are a set of cheats that are connected to the Stop and Swap eggs, since those are remnants of the original Stop and Swap plan, as it were. And those are so long; they take like 5 minutes straight to put in for some of them. I would say it takes a while. Let me tell you. So. Yeah, and I like how ERS is just lined up like this, so. And there we go! All 3 Cheeto cheats inputted. Let's see what Grunty say. Gold feathers, you may have 20, but bruises, you'll still get plenty. Ah, some good rhyming schemes there, huh? So these are our statistics. We're 3 short of 200, but that's still good enough, as it were. Let's go ahead and go through all of our statistics here. So the game total, 4 hours, 20 extra honeycombs, 78 jiggies, 700 notes, a lot of 7s. All the stuff from Spiral Mountain, Grunty's Lair. Well, not all of it from Grunty's Lair, but we're basically there. Mumbo's Mount and Treasure Trove Cove. I will say the time limit is going to be inflated because you'll come back for sandcastles. So, Bubblegoop Swamp, Clanker's Cavern, Freezy Peak, Gobi's Valley, and Mad Monster Mansion. Perfect 100% run so far. So next time on Let's Play Banjo-Kazooie, Rusty Bucket Bay. And that will actually probably be all we do next time. We're already prepped for Click-Clock Wood, so I'm going to do it start fresh from the file select screen, and we're going to go to each level the next 2 episodes, as it were. So, gonna have some really good pacing there. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. It might be Halloween themed, it might not be, but there you go. And see you guys next time. Good.